Let's paint this cheerful Christmas tree for day 7. I'm just getting regular Scotch tape. Doesn't have to be any certain brand. I just happen to have Scotch and it's almost gone. So let's see if I have enough. All right, we are going to tape off a triangle. It does not have to be perfect. And it's probably going to be a little difficult for you to see it. It's actually a little difficult for me to see it. The fun thing with this one is you can use whatever colors you would like. I believe I am going to use Madder Red, both diluted and, what's the word? Well, more saturated. I'm going to make a pink and a dark red out of this. I'm going to use Emerald Green, and then I think maybe a yellow green is what I'm going to use. If I stray from that at all, I'll let you know. I did decide I'm going to do some turkey blue as well, very diluted, and that's the color I'm going to start with. So I've got that on my brush with lots, well, I don't have lots of water on my brush, but I did put lots of water in the paint to make it a nice light blue color. So we're going to start with our lightest colors, and I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to put some right there. I'm going to make a whiter one down here. You know, they don't have to make sense. I might even, because that looks like I'm trying to do something with the spacing and I'm not. So we're going to try to be nice and free with this. Get a nice big swath of that blue here. And anytime I use tape, I just kind of hope for the best and that it's not going to seep underneath. But if it does, that's okay. That is okay. I have a little too much water up here, so I'm going to clean my brush, wipe it on the paper towel, and then my brush acts like a little sponge. Did you see that? Maybe soak up some of this as well. That helps it to dry faster too. Ideally, you want every color to dry in between, but for this next color, I'm not going to have it touching any of the blue, so I don't have to dry the blue thoroughly yet. And this next color is a very diluted Madder Red, so it's going to be more like a pink. I know these are not traditional Christmas colors, and I am not usually a person who's going to put pink in my Christmas decorations. Let's make the pink the top, shall we? And how much pink do we want here, guys? Maybe just like a really thin line of it right here. And how about another thin line right here? If I haven't mentioned already, I know I have in other videos, but you know, can't remember what I said 5 seconds ago. You want to go light to dark with watercolors. I'm going to dry my brush off and soak some of this up too, just because it's a little too watery there for me. I also kind of like to clean off or at least dry off my tape. So you can either do that with a paper towel, but that gets a little tricky if you accidentally touch the other paint. So I just keep drying my brush off on my towel and then just kind of soaking that up. It just keeps it cleaner and I don't put my hand in it and that sort of thing. I'm going to dry these two now. And now this looks like, you know, a gender reveal Christmas, but we're going to add some other colors so that it doesn't look like that. We're going to this is yellow green. Maybe we'll have him come on both sides of that blue there. And I'm going to dry my brush off because already all of that water is just too much for me. And if any of these dry lighter than you care for, you just put another coat on them. But I kind of like these light colors because I am going to get darker here in a little bit. But for right now, I'm going to continue with our yellow green. Just put it kind of wherever you'd like it. Okay, is that enough green? Maybe we'll do a little bit down here as well. Let's see. It really is hard to see the tape. I'm going to just put that right at the bottom. Okay. I'm going to dry that because we are getting to the point where the rest of the colors are all going to kind of be touching each other. And by the way, it's fine if they touch each other. You might want a tree that all blends together, so you could do wet on wet. I'm going for a little crisper kind of look. And so I'm doing it this way. But I do want to tell you, as I get into my darker colors, if let's say my red goes up into this blue a little bit and it looks not very good, it's okay because I'm using some pens afterwards. It's also okay because it's okay. Okay, let's move on to our emerald green. And I'm going to do a little emerald green. Let's do it right up against this green here, our yellow green. I'm going to leave a little space. My last color is going to be that madder red. This is also madder red, but it's just very diluted. But we're going to do our final one, a very saturated madder red. Give it a little pop. I am being a little careful. Again, you don't have to be super careful because we're going to use pens, but you know, whatever's comfortable for you. Got too much water, so I dried off my brush and I'm just going to kind of soak some of that up. That might be a little too light, so I'm actually going to grab a little bit more of that and just tap it in. I'll speed you through the rest of this color placement just because it's a little boring, I would say. Yeah. Okay, we're going to dry that completely. And our final color is red, so I'm just going to fill in all of the white spots. And this might be a time to switch to a smaller brush. I've been using a size 6 this whole time. My brain is telling me to grab the 2, but I'm also like, my other part of my brain's like, hey, live on the edge, a little lady. So I'm going to live on the edge and just paint with the bigger brush. Have fun with colors with this too, you know, like these are definitely not my go-to colors for Christmas or anything for that matter. And let's speed the rest of this color placement up as well for the same reasons I did it last time. Moment of truth, we're going to pull our tape, see if anything seeped under. I'll be sad if it does, but I'll also be okay if it does. Hey, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, now I'm going to take my white gel pen. You could also do a Posca pen, bleed proof white, whatever you'd like. And I'm just going to go in between each little color transition. It's really hard to see if it's even working on the lighter colors. Oh, word to the wise. Do you see what just happened there? Oh, well. So I put it down here and the red got on my white, and then I went back up here and it went up here. But guess what? That just looks like pink, so I'm not going to be sad about it. But I think I will wait to go in the red until we're all done. But I also think even that green, the emerald green, I'm going to wipe my pen off after each one just to be safe. I'm not sure the gel pen, yeah, it's working. It depends how bold you want your lines, you know? Oh, I just said I wasn't going to do the red, and here I am. Just do this one. I wiped that off. I don't know if you could tell on that one, but there was some of that green, the darker green into that lighter green, and that white pen just covered it right up. Same with that green and the pink. And I am wiping my pen off on, here, let me show you my really messy towel here. Okay, this is my towel. And I have been using this in place of paper towels. I don't know, it just feels like less wasteful. All right, where were we? All right, and I'm going to do these down here. And also, you can do 2 coats of this pen, but let me just show you what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going like that so that hopefully the colors don't bleed onto the next section, you know what I mean? So just add your lines wherever you want them. I am going to dry all of this now before I add any more details. And we're going to bring in our black pen. Now, I'm going to outline my tree. You can leave it just like this, add a trunk. I would like it to have a black line. If you want the lines to remain straight, you can use a ruler. I'm going to scratch mine in because that is my personal preference. So I'm going to speed you up while I scratch this in. And then I'm going to put a little trunk in here. and make it whimsical too. So I'm just going to kind of curve it and curve it and curve it. Right? You can choose what color. I think I would like, I think we're going to do a red trunk. So I'm just going to stick with my matter red. Make sure my pen is dry. Way too much water, so I'm going to swipe some of that off there. Oh, that is not red. That is orange. Oh, Carrie. It's okay. You know what we're going to do? We're going to just put a thin layer of whatever this color is. I think I just grabbed it off my palette rather than right from the pan. And it looked red, but I must have mixed together red and orange for something else. So we're going to just put that in there as our base layer. And then I am going to, I dried my brush off and then I'm soaking some of that up because I don't really want orange in this painting. Although, you know what? It kind of looks brown, but that's okay. Let's just grab red right out of the pan here. Remember how I said I might use some black? I am also going to use some black up here. If there's any spots that you don't like in between, let's just put black in between. Since that white wasn't doing it for me, we're just going to scratch some lines. I'm telling you, these pens, just love them. This trunk turned, I got a little too dark, but that's okay. It doesn't have to match the tree. Let's scratch some more lines in there. Scratch lines here. Where else do I want to scratch? I love this. You could paint in a background if you want. You could, I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but you could just write fa la 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 like all over. I don't know, those words are coming to my mind. Personally, I'm just going to sign it and call it good. Thank you so much for those of you who have already tagged me in your posts. I love seeing what you're doing. I've probably missed some, so also don't be afraid to like send me a message to say, hey, I tagged you, because it's happened in past series that I've done where like weeks later I'll be like, oh, somebody tagged me. Okay, have fun with this, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow for day 8.